Did you know that from the direction of our eyes, it can be determined where our focus is going to go and what we are going to think about next? Yes, friends, before we consciously decide what to focus on, our eyes already move in that direction, and then we start thinking about that thing. This means the more we control our eye movements, the deeper our focus will become. To deepen our focus, we first need to learn this important fact. And now, research also proves this. Daphne Bavelier, a neuroscientist at the University of Geneva, says in her research that students with stable eye movements have better selective attention, meaning they can focus better on one thing. These children also had better reading and writing scores. Practice eye movements. To control eye movements, we can do simple practices. We can focus on a dia or a candle's flame, or we can make a dot on a paper and focus on that. Start with 5 minutes a day and gradually increase to 10 minutes. If you can focus on the dot or the flame for 10 minutes, that's enough for you. After this, practice focusing directly on your work. Over time, you'll see that your eyes have become more stable, and you can read even boring things with more focus. Deep focus ritual. The second way to deepen focus is through deep focus rituals. When Charles Darwin was writing his book on evolution, he followed a ritual to enter deep focus. He would wake up in the morning and take a short walk, then have breakfast alone, then work from 8 to 10:30, then sit in the garden for 20 minutes, and then work again until 1. This routine would continue until the evening. In the last hour of work, he would walk on familiar paths near his home and think about the most challenging questions related to his subject. After coming home, he would tell everyone that his work was done and they could talk to him now. Unknowingly, he was following rituals for deep focus. In deep work, Carl Newport says that our brain works in two modes, BFS or breadth first search, where the brain samples a lot of information, and DFS or depth first search, where the brain shuts down all other signals and focuses on just one thing. When we do deep focus, our brain has to change its mode, meaning it has to shift from BFS to DFS. So friends, the key takeaway is that rituals help you change your mood, meaning they help shift your brain from BFS to DFS. That's why after following a ritual, when you start working, your brain is already moving towards DFS, meaning your focus is easily established and other thoughts don't distract you. This is why from Rabindranath Tagore to Abdul Kalam, from writers and artists to scientists, anyone who does deep work follows some form of deep focus ritual. My ritual is quite simple. First, I sit at my table, remove any clutter if there is any, clean the table, then play instrumental music, note the time to track what I am about to do and how I will do it, and then start a 25-minute timer. Sometimes I close my eyes and take 5 deep breaths. This helps me enter deep focus easily. We also learn another interesting thing from Charles Darwin's story. Perhaps some of you have noticed it, and that is that there should be a ritual for ending deep work as well. Having a ritual for ending deep work makes it easier for you to think satisfactorily, which also makes planning for the next day easier. If you don't create a ritual for ending deep work, you'll develop a habit of worrying about work all day and night. The third tip for unlocking deep focus is riding the wave of attention. Neuroscientists say that just as waves come and go, our focus also follows a wave pattern, meaning it rises and falls over time. The reason for this is norepinephrine. When norepinephrine increases, the brain can focus, and when it decreases, our focus starts to break. We understand less, and then we feel like getting up. The key point to understand is that to develop the habit of deep focus, we need to respect the cycle of focus, meaning when our brain is fresh, we need to focus, and when we get tired, we need to give the brain a chance to relax. This isn't easy because we neither focus entirely, nor take a complete break. So what should we do? Track your deep focus time. A core principle of business management is that you can only improve what you can measure. So, whenever you start working, note the start time. If your mind starts to wander, or if you lose focus, or if you get up, note the time again. By doing this, you will gradually begin to understand that today, you were able to focus for 25 minutes in one go. That's fine. Now you can take a 5-minute break. If you lose focus after 13 minutes or 8 minutes, note that time and tell yourself that it means your mind wasn't calm before starting work. You need to calm down again and refocus on your work. Tracking your deep focus time will also make you realize that deep focus time varies according to the subject and the task. Sometimes you can focus for 25 minutes, and sometimes for 50 minutes. The fourth tip for unlocking deep focus is to let the brain get bored during breaks. People watch social media during breaks to relieve stress, which does distract the mind but also tires the brain, making it feel very tired when we start focusing again. This means you need to do two things. To relieve stress, you can talk to a friend, write a journal, or do guided heart meditation, the link to which you will find in the description. All these things will help you release stress easily. Secondly, you need to genuinely rest your brain during breaks. You can take a walk, stretch, close your eyes and listen to music, do deep breathing, or guided meditation. After this, when you start working again, you will find that you can focus deeply once more. Friends, in the video we discussed 4 methods that will naturally help you deepen your focus. First, practice eye movements. Focus on the flame of a lamp or candle, or make a dot on paper and focus on it for 5 to 10 minutes. As your eyes become steady, you will be able to read even boring things with more focus. Secondly, create a ritual for deep focus. Rituals help your brain enter DFS even before you start working, meaning that once you start studying, your focus is easily established and internal thoughts don't distract you. Create a deep focus ritual that suits you. Also, make a small ritual for finishing your work, which will help you think satisfactorily. If your focus breaks, or when you take a break, note the time again. If you focused for less than 15 minutes, do deep breathing and calmly refocus. During breaks, you can close your eyes and sit, do deep breathing, listen to songs, go outside for a walk, or stretch. But let your brain get bored during this time. Don't do anything else. To relieve stress, you can do guided meditation and heart meditation. Make the background music inspiring and soothing.